Hello everyone, this is Salar and you are learning JavaScript. This is our tutorial number 14 and we are trying to learn number data type from different aspects. In the last tutorial, you learned how to work and use is_nan function. And now finally in this tutorial, you will learn how to perform number conversion. Are you ready? So let's check it out. In JavaScript, there are three functions which are used to convert non-numeric values into numbers. And these functions are number, parseInt, and parseFloat. And each of these functions reacts differently sometime to the same input. So we will investigate these functions, we will do some experiments and try to learn them effectively, right? In most of the cases, we receive numbers in the program represented in form of a string. The numbers in string form are usually inside the codes, like single quotes, double quotes, or backticks. And you can't perform operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication if the number represented itself as a string. So in order to perform operations, you need to convert string representation of numbers into real numbers. And that's why we use this inbuilt function, number, parseInt, and parseFloat, right? So let's now start with the number function and see how it works. So if a string contains numeric integer value, it will be converted into real integer when you apply number function. Right, so this is non-numeric integer value which is passed to the function, and this variable is now holding real integer value. And here I am trying to print the data type as well as the value of our variable. You can see in the console the data type of our variable is number and the value is 123. Similarly, when you pass non-numeric floating value to the number function, it will be converted into numeric floating value. And there you see the result, right? Okay, these two conversions are straightforward. Now let's see what will happen if you pass something to number function that can't be converted into integer or floating point number. Let's say you pass a string ABC to the number function. So this value, as you know, can't be converted into number. So in the output, instead of any error message, you will see a value nan. Nan is actually a special type of JavaScript's numeric value. It stands for not a number and used to indicate that number conversion operation has failed, right? So instead of throwing any error, JavaScript uses this special numeric nan value to show that conversion operation has failed. And as I said, this value is numeric, and that's why you see the data type of our variable is number, right? So this is how number function will react when the value can't be converted into numbers. And number function will also return nan value when you try to pass an uninitialized variable to it. Check it by yourself, right? And when you apply number function to boolean values like true and false, they will be converted into 0 and 1 respectively, right? So you can check them out by yourself if you want. Now, one odd thing with number function is empty string is converted into 0. And there you see the value 0. This is odd, right? This result can mislead your calculation because 0 is a number and the argument passed to the number function was just an empty string, right? Now because of weird and strange results in some cases like this one, we usually avoid number functions and prioritize the use of parseInt and parseFloat. So let's now see how do we use parseInt in number conversion. So the function parseInt is a better option when you are dealing with integers. Unlike number function, parseInt returns nan value when an empty string passed to it. And it will also return nan when you pass an argument that can't be converted into integer, like a string ABC. And parseInt will give you right result when you pass an argument that can be converted into integer. Like here you see in the output, data type is number and the value is 50, right? Now, when you pass the floating point non-numeric value to the parseInt, then the decimal part will be removed under the conversion process. And that means this part is gonna remove, right? And you will get only 55 because the decimal is not a valid integer character. And so you see in the output, the decimal section is totally removed. Now, one interesting thing with parseInt function is that it examines non-numeric value more closely. Let's say if the value you pass contains leading byte spaces like this, so the parseInt will continue to ignore all the white spaces until it finds the first character. And if the first character is non-numeric character, like here in this example, so it will perform conversion. So let's print out the variable and see if we are getting the right result. And there you see the conversion is performed and leading space is removed, right? And similarly, if you have a string that starts with a non-numeric values follows by other values which can't be converted into integer, like you see in the example, our string starts with non-numeric values and then comes other values which can't be converted into integer. The parseInt will work in this case. The conversion goes on until the first non-numeric character is found. So the result of this statement would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to print it out in the console. And they say all the non-numeric values are converted into integer, right? So let's now look at parseFloat function. ParseFloat works in a similar way to parseInt, but there are some minor differences between parseFloat and parseInt which I want to highlight. So let me write first some examples and then we're going to discuss them. Right, so you see some statements. The first conversion is straightforward. You will provide non-numeric floating point value and you will get back floating point value, right? And in the second statement, parseFloat will do the same as parseInt, but the result you will get would be integer, right? And now in the third statement, parseFloat will check the string up to the first decimal point. The second decimal point is invalid and parseFloat function is going to ignore it. And this would be the result of this statement, right? And now look at the fourth statement. All the leading zeros will be ignored by the parseFloat function, right? And this would be the result of this statement. So now we have gone through three important functions that we use to perform number conversions. And like I said earlier, you will avoid using number function and try to use parseInt or parseFloat. Now, one final thing before we end this tutorial is that this parseInt function can take another argument. Together with the value, you can pass another argument to the parseInt function, which is called radix. Radix is actually a kind of flag that is used to specify the number system. Let's say if this value is binary, then the radix would be 2 and 8 for octal, 10 for decimal and 16 for hexadecimal. And most of the time we perform decimal conversions. So it's always good to include 10 as a second argument. For example, here you can just write a second argument 10, and this simply means convert this into base 10 integer, right? So now we are done with this tutorial. And not only this tutorial, we are also done with number data type. And I hope now you can work with number data type confidently, right? So the next data type in the list is null that we are going to discuss in the next tutorial. I will see you there and thanks for watching.